Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible start to the week. Happy Monday. Who have we got in the house today? We've got Valiant Energy, we've got TRT, Crypto Granny, Alan Sykes, we've got Victor in the house, Jimmy Thing, Terra Mesa, we've got Doc Bob D, Draco, Senor Steak, Jazz J, Chris McCaulin, Jerry Fusili, Steve Lee, Zoba, and Red Cosmonaut. Cool. So, yeah, you know the deal. We're going to be jumping into the weekly news covering the Flare network. So if we jump back over this way, we're going to start with some of the FTSO data, I guess the signal providers and their accuracy. Just give this a quick refresh. And then we're going to talk about some NFTs and then get into the bulk of the news. And I'm sure you may already know, a lot of it is dominated by DeFi, and more specifically, the latest moves and developments coming from the Enosis team. They've been busy launching some products. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how everything is going. But first, we're going to check out the signal providers' accuracy this week on the Flare network. We've got FTSO Plus topping the charts in first place. In second place, we've got Alpha Oracle. Third place, a very often seen entity right here, it's Flare Ocean. They're always doing great. We've got Evolve FTSO, and in fifth place, Lena Instruments. Happy days. So if we jump over to Sparkles, this is sparklesnft.com. This is the leading marketplace on both Songbird and Flare. Topping the charts this week is the Songbird Apes. In the second place, we have Songbird City. Third place, Luxury Lofts, and fourth place, S-Toads. That's the holy trifecta. And in fifth place, we have the Council of the AI. Congratulations to all of them for getting into the top 5. If you didn't already know, the Flare network gives Flare drops. They're airdrops for people that are holding WFLR. That's Flare that is wrapped. If you're holding it in your own wallet, or if you're participating in DeFi using the Enosis or Blaze Swap platforms, you're actually eligible to claim every single month, and it's based on how much WFLR you have in a certain period and based on a couple of snapshots. The next one is Flare drop number 7. Wow, almost 7 months into the airdrops, and it occurs in, from this very second, 1 day, 14 hours, and 53 minutes from now. So not long. Pretty exciting stuff, and you know that this is obviously accompanied by the Lucky Claw draw, which will be happening at some point this week, so stay tuned for that. This is a great website. This is Flarepedia. If you did not know already, they've got loads of stuff going on here. If we just bump this up a little bit, you can get information on the epochs, the Flare drops. You know, you've got these featured, I guess, projects. Well, there's this, right? So Flare Community Forum, you've got Flare Beacon, my bad. You've got a list of the FTSO providers, NFTs, the various tokens, and projects. Shout out to Dragon's Lair. I know you're in the house, Draco. And yeah, here's some news. FIP05 has passed. And for those of you who don't know, FIP stands for the Flare Improvement Proposal. This passed, and this proposal was all about updating services, limits, and rewards required for staking. So as we know, this is going to be a transition from the model that we're all familiar with now over to staking. It's going to allow for additional revenue streams, but also it's going to encourage decentralization from the signal providers, or I guess as the role or the new role comes to light, the infrastructure providers. That's a combined role of both the signal provider and also the validator. So I think this is a good move, and I'm very happy it's passed. You can see them all right here, all of the previous proposals which have been voted on by the holders of FLR. That's you and that's me. Here we go. This is from Anchor. Anchor's saying that Flare Network's mainnet is here. Yep, no kidding. What are you waiting for to start making your calls? Use Anchor's RPC endpoint now to get started. An RPC endpoint is basically what you can add to connect to a node and sort of interact with the Flare network. Many of you may be using some of the old RPCs, which work perfectly fine. You've got the Flare ones. I'm pretty sure some signal providers have their own public RPC, and you also have Bifrost as well. So you guys probably didn't need to know this, but I thought it's good because it's good for getting the word out there. If you look at this account, it's got almost 220,000 followers. So as far as I'm concerned, any exposure to the Flare network is good, especially when it's from an account with as much followers as this one. Yes, this is the main news of the week. This has created quite some excitement, and I've been following this along very much, actually, very closely. So the party started with the Flare, FLR, the native token of the Flare network, and the EUSDT. That's USDT that's been bridged from Ethereum over to the Flare network by using Enosis's bridging protocol. What does this mean? Well, it means that we've actually had the launch of the DEX for the very first time from Enosis, and it also means that we have released some, or had the opportunity to accrue some interesting assets, and that being APS. Now, here's something to note, right? We predicted this. It's predictable that, you know, some people may not have bridged the EUSDT. So using the cheat sheet that I created, I did try to make it make people aware that this is a very important step to being able to take advantage of the early days of this platform launching, right? This is what we saw to the price of Flare and EUSDT. I'm just going to call it USDT from now. You guys know what I'm saying. But you can see that this was actually quite a flat price for the Flare network. But because of the demand for USDT, it actually made USDT more valuable than what it was, more valuable than $1, right? That's what this line signifies. And that's because there was a bridging limit imposed on the bridge for bridging USDT. This is predictable behavior, and it deviated by almost, I guess, 15 to 20% from $0.013 to $0.011. Now, what you could do here, if you are, I guess, aware of the opportunities, you can actually sell your. We was actually entering the pool. A lot of the Patreon family who got this cheat sheet for free. We watched this ride down to about here, and then you can actually exit your position and then use the overinflated price of EUSDT to buy FLR at a very good rate, and then sell it back once the price recalibrates when the bridge is open. We also had this news. We actually saw the APS token launch, and this was obviously mandatory for the DEX to launch. And in fact, we should have gone over this first. This was something that we spotted, and it was only a matter of time before the DEX opened and people could start actually earning APS. Now, because this APS pool, there was no APS pool, it had nothing to pair it against, which means that it didn't have a value. So everyone was left in the dark during this pool once it opened. It was earning APS, but no one really knew how much it would be worth. Well, recently we actually got news that it did launch a couple of days ago. And here we go, look. So there was a huge spike, 11%, and this was done by an order of $28,000. I'm not sure if you can see that. $28,000 worth FLR, it was FLR, sorry. And it created this huge candle. And we also talked about a little bit about what this meant. And it's just been a really fascinating time to see how this unfolded and to see how correct we were in our estimations. Here's some interesting facts. All of this activity on the Flare network really sort of slingshotted the Flare network into a force to be reckoned with, right? So the TLV, the total locked value, absolutely skyrocketed upon the launch of these. It was very interesting to see, and yeah, it obviously brings more awareness to the platform. This 11% spike, it has actually dropped since, with a significantly harsher red candle, and we talked about this in the Gnosis launch cheat sheet volume 2. And as I said before, this is completely free for Patreon members. So if you are a Patreon member, be sure to check this out because it contains all of my predictions, and we reflect on the first version of this document and how it was really quite impressively accurate, to be honest. Here's something that I want you to know. Entering a liquidity pool with a stablecoin is kind of like having a 0.5 leveraged position. If your asset dumps, if it goes down, you'll lose half as much because it's pegged against the stablecoin. And if your asset goes up, obviously on the flip side, you gain half as much. So it's a way to reduce the volatility. But in between that, you actually gain the decentralized exchange trading fees. And often, in the case of Enosis, you actually get additional rewards via a governance token, and that is APS. This was interesting. This is something that I thought I would pose to the community. What do you think the next Enosis liquidity pool is to open? And a lot of people, most people, are saying that it's the Helion to FLR. In second place, APS to USDT. And I thought this was interesting. I'm actually backing this one. I think there's a lot to happen before we see this. We need HLN to be airdropped first, and all of that good stuff, and the transaction from, the Songbird network over to Flare, and all of that good stuff. But these two assets, APS and USDT, are actually already existing on the network, and I think it would be much easier to go about. So it was pretty interesting, and I'm of the opinion that it's going to be this one, but time will tell. Many of you know that I did get back from Apex very recently. It was absolutely incredible. I met many incredible people, and one of them being our very own Crypto Granny. What a legend she is. I'll be telling some stories over in the Patreon group tonight on Discord. We obviously have our weekly chats shortly after this. Yeah, it was great. I met so many great people. You can see a list of them there. I was talking to the Bifrost team, amongst many others, and I even managed to talk with Joel Katz, aka David Schwartz, and ask him some very interesting questions about the automated market maker and the order book exchange on the XRP ledger. Highly recommend anyone going to a conference like this, and I'm hoping that Flare sort of do something similar in the near future. Obviously, they're not as mature as the XRP ledger and the entity that was behind this. It was Ripple X. So we're hoping in the future that there is an opportunity to network with people and meet people from the community moving forward. It will be a lot of fun, but yeah, I'll be sharing some more insights on what happened at Apex over the coming days. Yes, and this is one of the reasons that inspired this tweet. Being able to connect with so many beautiful people every day is a real blessing. And this is not just on X, obviously in real life. It was quite funny, actually. Over on Apex, at the end of each session, they'd offer questions from the audience, and there was some occasions where, I'd put my hand up, I'd get the mic, and I'd ask a question, and then we would see people turn around saying, I recognize that voice. Are you Flare Community? I was like, yes, that's me. It was really funny, and yeah, like I said, it was a great time. This is just a quick reminder. Investment in knowledge pays the best interest, and this comes from a very wise man, Benjamin Franklin. Level up and watch your APY skyrocket. This is why we first learn and then we remove the L. So you first learn and then you earn. It's very important to understand exactly what you're doing when participating in DeFi protocols. There's a lot of people who may have been, maybe not got the best value for their money by putting in a large order in a liquidity pool to try and buy one of those assets while it's very illiquid. That results in crazy volatility, but this is something that you learn as you go. But first, you should learn and then start participating. If you're new to DeFi or new to crypto, I'd highly recommend just sort of playing the field with a little bit of money and not going too crazy, and just learning the processes and what's happening behind the scenes. And then once you get more confident, you can obviously play with a little bit more money and it'll be a lot easier for you. Here's a gentle reminder. On Thursday, we do have the Flare Community Poker Club tickets. So we're going to have a tournament on Thursday, and it's going to be here where you can get the tickets. It's represented as an NFT. This is the flarecommunity.com/store. It's going to be a bronze tournament this time, and it looks like we've got at least 10 people that want to participate. And obviously, being a paid entry, there is a very substantial prize pool along with that. If you don't have any FCC to actually purchase the ticket, you can get one here or get it here by going onto the website and just clicking on this mint. And this is where you can get it. So FCC, you can buy it here, then you can go to the store, and then you can actually just purchase the ticket. But if you don't want to go through that process, you can purchase it at a bit of a higher price here on Sparkles, the cheapest one being 2.4 thousand FLR, and that's the entrance to the prize pool, which obviously the entry to the tournament, which the prize pool consists of. All of that FLR, or the majority of it, goes to top 3 winners, depending on how many people we have. If you do have one of these tickets, please go to the FC Discord. This is where we arrange it. Scroll right to the top and click on, where are we? NFT verification here. What you can do is you can actually see this verify button, and once you verify yourself as a holder, you're going to get access to all of these rooms on the left-hand side. And this is where we arrange it. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday at this time, basically. So if we go back 20 minutes from now, and then on Thursday, that's the time that we're doing it. This is my local time, but if you check the Discord, this will show your local time. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you are a member of the Discord, we do have the Discord chat, and it's over here at the bottom, the Discord call, for a good old chinwag straight after this stream, which is ending right now. So that's pretty much it, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd like to wish you an incredible week as always. And until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.